Good morning, dear saints, and I'd like to share another testimony with you today. And of course, a testimony is just telling what God has done. And now the story of where I saw God at work, and this happened a couple of weeks ago, I think. I was in my office one day and I was wrapping things up for the day and getting ready to go home. And it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon when the telephone here at the church rang. And the person who called turned out to be a teenage woman who was in distress. And she said that her mother, herself, her brother, and an infant were stranded here in St. Paul's, and they literally had nothing. And could I help them out? Well, the story goes that these folks were traveling from Pennsylvania to South Carolina. And they had made a stop in St. Paul's, and the mother ran into a convenience store. And while she was in, the mother's boyfriend became angry for who knows what reason and kicked them all out of the car and drove off with the mother's purse. So here they are in St. Paul's with the clothes on their back, an infant car seat, an infant, and that was it, and their telephones. Well, if you do a Google search in St. Paul's churches, the first church that comes up is the St. Paul's Presbyterian Church. And so I was able to talk with this family and find out where they were at the moment, and found out that in going down to South Carolina that they had some relatives in Columbia. And I said, would your relatives take you in if I can get you there? And they said yes. So I was able to go on the Greyhound website, and there was a bus that goes from Fayetteville to Columbia, and it left at 6:50 in the evening. So in about 2 hours. So I was able to get 3 tickets and help this family out. And then I said, where are you at so I can meet you? And they said, well, we're standing in front of the Walmart by the vending machines. So I went there, and when I met them, the teenage daughter, who was the one who called, said Mom had $6 left on her WIC card. She had gone in to buy milk for the baby. So while I got there, they literally were standing there, just the clothes on their back and the car seat, the infant, and themselves. They had no luggage. They had no bags, handbags, or anything. And I asked, when was the last time you ate? And they said, well, we had some McDonald's French fries because the teenage son had a coupon on his phone that was good for a free order of fries. And I said, did you have lunch? They said no. I didn't ask about breakfast. So anyway, I had picked up 3 bottles of water before I ran over there, so I was able to give them some water. And then I said, Mom, let's go in the store and get you some food. And needed to be portable food. And thank heavens that grocery stores have delis. And she picked up 2 salads and a sandwich, and we got that. And then I was able to drive them up to Fayetteville and take them to the Greyhound bus station. And we got there at about 5:15, so they had about an hour. And they had called their relative, and their relative in Columbia was going to pick them up when the bus got in later that night. Well, they were refugees. They were not refugees halfway around the world in Ukraine. They were refugees here in St. Paul's with literally the clothes on their backs. And yes, I did ask the mother, did you file a police report to try and get your purse back, potentially, and to let them know your purse had been stolen and who stole it, etc. And she said she had. But this story had a good ending. And here's the thing. God not only gave me an opportunity to help this family and share the love of Christ with them, but during the maybe hour of time that I had with them, in addition to trying to find out a little bit about them and their situation and their lives, also the Lord gave me some time to share the love of Jesus Christ with them. And when they said, thank you, I said, let's thank Jesus Christ for this. He's the one who made it happen. And I wanted to keep bringing the conversation back to Jesus Christ. And of course, they did thank me, and I do appreciate that. But it was always, let's, thank Jesus for this. It's Jesus who's taking care of you, who's Jesus who is watching over you and holding you in his arms right now, and Greyhound bus and Jesus getting you to your relatives in Colombia. So just a brief time to share the good news of Jesus with someone and to share the love of Jesus with them. But God was the one who made that happen, and God used me because I was in the right place at the right time for God to use me. God can use you too. And every morning there's a prayer I pray, Lord, make your best use of me this day. Keep me faithful. And sometimes the Lord does use me, and I hope I'm always being kept faithful. Well, that story took a little bit longer to tell, but I hope I conveyed it clearly that this was something God had done, and that I was able to be there and to see God at work in the lives of this refugee family here in St. Paul's. May the Lord bless you and keep you in his care this day, and may the Lord make the best use of you and keep you faithful. Amen.